Hello, it's Melinda, and I'm bringing you a walkthrough of my January mission inspiration. We've been doing mission inspiration for probably 12 months now. If you're not familiar with it, I'll pop a link to the Facebook group below. It's basically an 8-step process to create a journal page, and they're very vague clues, or very vague criteria, so you can interpret them as literally or as inspirational, or yeah, you can interpret them any way you like, I'll put it that way. Sorry, I'm tired today. So my daughter and I do these pages together, so it's really hard to film 2 pages with one video camera, and to set up to have us both in the frame is just, I can't work that out. So we've made a decision. 1 month Alexis will film her page step by step, and that'll be a process video, which I'm editing at the moment and will get up soon for her January inspiration. We're a bit late doing these were done in February. And then I will just do a walkthrough page. The next month I will film a process video of mine, and then Alexis will just do a walkthrough or talk through like what I'm doing now. Just so we can share a bit of it. And this one did take quite a while because it's got quite a bit of pieces on it, and I did it over several nights because Alexis finished and then I was still going as per usual. Okay, so January mission was fragments of junk mail. So I actually put fragments of maps, and I don't know whether you're going to see in the background. I think most of it's got covered up now, but there is maps. A map of Bendigo, our local town, in the background. Next one was strips or ribbon or trim. Now I was watching Chelsea, I'll put a link to her channel below as well, and a link to her video. She used the ribbon or trim. She used ribbon as branches on hers with, she did I believe it was an owl, could be wrong, I watched it quite a while ago, but she used ribbon as branches, and I love that idea, and I thought, oh, let me steal that idea. Borrow, steal, pinch, whatever the word is. Inspired by, scrap lift, art journal lift, whatever the word is. So I stole that idea. So I used some ribbon, and I really like this ribbon with the white on it, with the drop, with the texture, sorry, and the dots, and this one with the blue texture. I was going to paint over the ribbon, and then I decided to leave it as it was. So the next step 3, was gesso or paint. So I gessoed the background, and I painted the background just in some blue acrylic paint because it's going to be a sky view. So I painted around the ribbons. I was going to, as I said, paint over the ribbons, and then I decided to leave it, and I'm happy I left it. Secret journaling. This was an interesting one. So this one, step 4 and step 5, I sort of combined. I worked out what my focal images were going to be, and this is from my sketchbook, and I love to draw like this. These are ink drawings I've done. These are inspired by, or directly copied from Tim Holt's Angry Birds. Are they Angry Birds? Funny Birds? Whatever the birds are. So I love drawing in like a cartoon style, and I will go on Pinterest or I'll go on the internet and find images that I really like, and I really like his bird stamps, and I sit there and draw them out myself. So these are, and I've done a flip through these before, so I've done these sort of ones. I think I'll do them again because I really like them, these ones as well. So this one's quite different to this one, so they've got different attitudes, and then I'll go and after I've drawn a few I'll change them around a bit. This one's quite a bit different to his first stamp, and I love this one as well. So I decided to go and take these to my photocopier and scanner and blow them up. My scanner and I have issues. I put the book in and I wanted them a bit bigger because they were a bit small to go on this art journal page, and I kept, like this was the first attempt, I got one bird. I kept putting the book in the wrong spot in the scanner, and I was getting so frustrated, and Alexis was getting very frustrated with me getting frustrated because she was waiting for me to finish so she could scan what she wanted. So I ended up with these little half birds, and as you can see around the edge I had these half birds, and I didn't want to waste them, so this was like half a bird. So I decided to, there's some spare ones I've got, I've used them again as well. They'll go in my spare box, or I might send them out in some flourish journals. So I ended up doing these birds, and I love how they're peeking in and upside down, and that's where the sentiment come from as well. Where are my notes? So the secret journaling, okay, getting back to the secret journaling, I'll lift this up and see if you can see. Working in my wine book, except my wine book has had an accident, and the front cover completely fell off. Oops, I've got to fix that. It half fallen off, so I'd taken it off. Okay, I don't know whether you can see. In the birds, after I'd photocopied them, that's a bit tall, a bit shiny, I've actually waxed this page as well, so it's got a bit of a shine on. I've actually written in some of the scribbled cross-hatching different words for this year that I want to do. So a lot along these lines of this year stand out from the crowd. So that's what I want to do with my business and my personal life, stand out from the crowd and just be me. And if me's standing out, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Hence why the birds are all different colours. So, secret journaling, I journaled on my paper cutouts before I stuck them on. Then I glued them on, and then I decided to paint them with watercolour paints. And I just used my cheap set that I got for $3.50. These are Micador watercolours. They're a bit chalky after they dry, so they do rub off a bit, but they're really cool. And a lot of people use them for art journaling and scrapbooking. So they were a good find at Spotlight last year for $3.50. They were on really reduced clearance. I'm sad I should have grabbed a couple of sets, but I didn't know what they were like, and even for $3.50 I didn't want to get a couple of sets and then they'd be really horrid. I've had some horrid sets of cheap watercolours before. So that was step 5, focal image or paint. Drips or splatters. You probably could see some drips or splatters of in the background. They didn't work really well. And then step 7 was make marks with ink or paint. Now I really needed leaves on my trees, so I actually used some gel printed papers I had, and of course that's marks on paper with paint. So that's how literal you can, or how interpretive you can be with the prompts. Most people would interpret that as get something and stamp it on your page. I decided to do the leaves, so I sat there and hand cut all these leaves out of some jelly printed paper and glued them on. And then I went around and edged them and did a bit more mark with an ink pen, a Faber-Castell big brush pen. And you can sort of smudge the edges, and did a bit more of the detailing on the leaves. So that was fun. And frame or border, and what I basically did is just a sketchy border just around the edge, just with a fine liner black pen. So I love how this turned out. I've actually been inspired. One moment, yawning, sorry. Oh, my voice is all funny. Alexis and I have had throat infections the last few weeks, and yes, that's why I haven't seen... Well, you've seen videos from us, but they've been ones that we've filmed previously. Because our throats have been a bit yucky and our voices have been a bit yucky. But I've inspired, I want to turn this into a canvas. I've got some fairly large canvases I've had sitting in my stash for absolutely ages, and I'm inspired to turn this into a canvas now that I've had a play in my junk journal, and I think it would look awesome up on my wall. So that's going to be my next thing, and I may be able to film a process video of that. I don't know. At the moment I only can set my camera up to work on a table, and the canvas I'm thinking of is bigger than the table, so I'm unsure how I'm going to handle that. But if I can set it up and film a process video, I certainly will for you. Because yeah, it's hard to work on a big piece when I've got like a... Basically this is the size area of filming I've got, which is like 2 A4 sheets. But that's... If you want to see a process video of me doing a larger canvas, that's what I more enjoy. I love doing larger things, and you give me ATCs or greeting cards to do, and I, oh my god, struggle so much. This, I love this size, and I also like my smaller size art journal, which is around somewhere. Which is like a, which is basically about this size, as in page spread wise. But if you give me much smaller stuff, I really struggle and just don't like it. But give me a large canvas, and I'm as happy as pig in mud. So I've done a fair few large canvases before and different mixed media ones, but I haven't got into filming them, and I haven't done one for quite a few years actually. So I want to get back into that, and I've got quite a few canvases sitting there, so this is my year to use it up. Enough rambling. Leave your comments below, do those usual things, like, subscribe, like this video, subscribe. I usually don't say this in my videos, but let's throw it in there. And share it if you want to share it. Thank you very much for watching and letting me ramble on. And let me know what you think of my page. I love this one. This is probably one of my favourites. Hence why it's going to be turned into a canvas. I reckon this will look lovely in my house. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.